Hi, good people, and welcome to Life Code 254.
Yeah.
And we are on season
Two, yo.
Season 2, yo guys. Oh, we're so excited.
Yeah, it is
Season
something.
2.
Imagine.
Season 2.
Let's do this, Miss White.
Oh my god. It's so packed with so much.
Yeah.
And let's do this. So, guys, karibu. Tuko hapa Life Codes. We are your hosts. My name is Annette Y.
And I'm Writho.
Writho.
What's up?
Are you excited?
I'm excited to start
Hey,
the new
I'm
season.
feeling this.
Yeah.
Hey, milestones.
Yeah, and I've been loving the engagements. A lot of interaction with our fans.
Yeah.
What are the people saying?
I think
For season 1.
Season 1 was awesome.
Uh-huh.
Like, people learned a lot.
Yes.
People are appreciative of the content that we're giving.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for just holding us down and just watching and and sharing.
Yeah.
Manze, if you're out there, you love our content, subscribe and share to your people, and let's do life together, and let's learn and explore, and have these conversations together.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to read some of the comments from you guys from our first season. And we have episode 1. Yeah?
Yes.
Hey, nakwambia mliongea. The topic was about couples managing finances together.
Yes.
And so we have someone by the name Liz Njoki. Hi, Liz. She says, if we are doing life together, even business, we are doing together.
We're supposed to be fire.
Yes. So she believes in that topic that, you should not hide each other when it comes to finances. Yeah. Then we have Joe Miranga. Hi, Joe. How are you?
What up?
Thank you so much for engaging with us. He says, these are real life teaching, and he's learning a lot, and he's waiting for more. And we are here to give you more.
We do exactly that.
We have Art-Holic illustrations. That is our director pale behind the scenes. Yeah, and he's just encouraging us, to keep doing this and to keep at it. So thank you. Yes. Big up to also Faith. Musha, hey, please, I'm not going to massacre your name, so I'm just going to keep it at Faith. Yes. She says, if it's possible to do business together, but at the same time separate the roles, which is very, very important. Depends on who is good at what. It doesn't matter who is the boss, so you have to kind of like know your strengths. Yeah. And that's season 1, episode 1. Yeah.
I also saw something on season 2 where Annabelle is giving us a big up and saying that we are addressing real life issues.
Yeah.
And so big up yourself, and Annabelle. We really, really appreciate your support.
Awesome.
Diani Filmcraft, all the way from Diani. You're saying you're at it,
Maze. Watu coast pia huko.
Adika Penguri uskijo. And it's quite something, and let's keep engaging all these things that are affecting society.
Amazing. Thank you guys for your feedback. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate. And if you're listening to us, share this with your family, your friends, and let's do life together. And so we have been on a break, on a recess, just to gear up to season 2. And just sometimes it's good to just take a breather. And come back fresh and rejuvenated. Yes. And so a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. Some very heavy issues.
What are we talking about?
I'm looking at very recently our nominated senator, Gloria Oroba. Yes, she was kicked out of parliament, I think, because of staining her clothes. Yes. And I think she was just standing up for the ladies and girls' rights to access sanitary towels and all that. And so I don't know, what do you think in regards to that? Was it a show? Was it based on, is it an emotional reaction, or is it she was trying to put up a point that we should support the girl child and everything, but how she went about it, is it something that you think was okay?
To be honest, I know society might be that a bit more viewing it in a negative way, but in terms of impact, she really got the message home. And the message is home now in terms of that creating that awareness for sanitary towels and that whole awareness around the female hygiene.
So in one way or another. Just be crazy. If you want to be heard, be crazy. See, I'm hearing there's this mama, something of she's whistling all over. She whistles and calls your name.
Until Sakaja whistled back.
Mimi nakwambia talent huku ine.
Na Joho akuachwa. Joho akakubali pia kuingia hapo ndani. And
so I think with the age that we are living in, sometimes you just have to make noise and be crazy to be heard and for your point to be across, to be put across.
Very true.
Yeah, so what else, what other happenings in the past 2 weeks?
Andrew Kibe alileta shida sana.
Yeah.
Andrew Kibe says so this whole thing when the president goes to visit the governor of Nakuru, Governor Susan Kehika, and so now at that particular point of caption, we see the husband standing very humble and giving his perspective on something, and the good governor is seated down and the president is seated down, and so Andrew Kibe is like, how misplaced is this? As in, the lady should have been down on the grass and the man sitting there and now engaging the president direct, and now her giving her perspective to the two men through the husband, and he feels that is right.
Feminists walikuwa wanasema aje? Feminists.
I'm sure
walikuwa wanasema angekuwa kwa kiti. Niliona hiyo kiti ilikuwa nikaa ni ya chuma. Angekuwa kwa ya pilo.
But you see, unfortunately with social media, we only get to see one snippet, and at times it can be blown out of proportion when we do not have the whole story. Maybe the seat hata pengine ilikuwa just outside the frame ilikuwa imekimbiliwa, and hawangesimama hapo sasa waangaliane ndio tuchukue picha. And so since we do not have the entire story, it's misconstrued, and it might look some type of way. Well, or it could be legit or not, and it depends on these socials, and they're vicious, but it is what it is.
And it's perspective. So however, because later on there was a photo that was again released that now the woman was no longer in the picture, now the governor was no longer in the picture, now it's the husband and the president. So wanasema this is how it should have been. Yes.
You're correct. So
and it's just all just trying to there's no really balance per se, but let things be. Let things happen. And stop trying to blow them out of proportion. I think so too. Let's be more receptive with each other. That let's not overthink. At times we might overthink also. Let's know that but also we are coming from an African setting, and so there's how we view things, and since it's all about the visuals, so of course the visuals that you're projecting out there, just know that they'll be interpreted in one way or another. And so talk of visuals, Lynette, hey, Bomet women rep anasema, you know what, this guy wa boda boda alinisaidia but time yake imeisha.
Ule alimwanzia from the ground up.
Now she's in regards to image and visuals, now I want someone who's more smarter. Mtu anajielewa.
Change of cast.
Mtu anajua suti ni kusema nini. Napona hapo kwenye suti.
Lynette Toto
did the thing. Alifanya ile kitu.
What?
Mimi nakwambia, girl child. Me, don't be brought down because someone's Jew was with you sijui. Sio watu wanatufanyanga hivyo. Unamhold down saa zile ana kitu, alafu akishapata piga anaendea yellow huko anakuacha hapo.
Sasa just because watu in the past walifanyanga makosa, sasa tuishi hizo makosa forever.
Revenge is well served cold.
Okay. On Valentine's Day. But anyway, it is what it is. So it's about how everyone takes it up, and how do you take as a Boda guy, how do you take it? How do you dash yourself and now project your own value, create your own persona as a person, and don't let that
bring you down.
Yeah. If you are waiting for anyone to make your stature be better, then cast is a person that puts their trust in anyone. So if you're doing good, fanya wema, nenda zako. Kama itakuwa vizuri, well and good.
Wacha tuone, maybe atampatia ka position mahali huko hivyo, atamtafutia ka somewhere huko, so we never know. Maybe she has, unajua labda akona maono ya baadaye.
Already studio positions inamletea shida in parliament, in court, so I think keep a wide bar. Wacha mpe favor ingine, lakini hapo ni contentious area.
Watajua kenye watajua.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
What are we talking about today?
So today's topic, today's episode is all about dating in your 20s versus dating in your 30s. I mean the dynamics, you know. What do you know in your 20s that you now know in your 30s? What you didn't know in your 20s that you now know in your 30s, and how it affects your dating life. So dating in your 20s versus dating in your 30s. Whoa. That's what we're talking about today.
Wow.
Yeah, so funga mshipi vizuri, safety belt. Sawa? Yeah. What do you think?
Hapa ni mteremko kwa sababu we have to really assess it, and dating in your 20s, you find that you don't know much about life. You're just coming from home, so you're not too exposed with this outside world, and I tell you, ignorance is bliss. Knowing too much is what will keep you away from the kingdom of heaven. Knowing too much. And you see, of course, by the time you're 30, you've gone through heartbreaks, you've gone through crazy experiences, you've gone through you probably have a child by this time, and so how these two people will approach relationships and marriage is totally different. While the 20s might have that puppy love sort of relationship where it's a push and pull, I chase, you chase. Hey, in your 30s, that mental clock is ticking, and where we do not have time for all this back and forth, and you do not have time for partner after partner. So your sieve is that a bit more profoundly set, so that you're avoiding a lot of short-term things. You're now more settled. You're thinking, wow, Mazee, I'm headed to my heyday, so I need to be at my best.
And you know better.
Yes.
In your 30s, you know better. In your 30s, you have more responsibility to yourself, and maybe even to your family, maybe your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, whatever. If you've not had your own family yet, because again, you can be dating in your 30s. Na ulienda ukapanda mbegu kwanza. Unaona. So that happens, and so you're dating in your 30s, and you're more mature, and you know now, this is what I should go about this situation. This is, and not many things kind of like scare you, or not many things ruffle you, versus dating in your 20s, where you are going at it literally very naive, thinking good of everyone. No one can ever hurt you. They got you until unapigwa character development.
Nairobi hii.
Unajua wewe. Hiki jiji sio mama yako. And so there's the aspect of maturity. When it comes to dating in your 20s versus dating in your 30s. Then there's the threshold where you're able to handle more. You're able to have that grace in terms of dealing with people. Sometimes when people are accusing you, or people are acting some type of way, it's not about you, it's about them dealing with their issues. So you're more calmer, you have more grace towards people in your 30s as opposed to your 20s.
Very true.
In your 20s, unatuma message, if they don't respond, in your 30s, you understand people are busy. People need time to rejuvenate. You're busy the whole day, you've been working, you need to go home, calm down, before you start responding to messages and all. And so there's the dynamics of maturity and grace.
And of course, that one of the major pillars of any relationship is communication. And maturity, before you get to that good maturity level, when the relationship hits some turbulence, the two people keep a wide berth, and they don't talk about things, and so they would rather keep things under the carpet, or ghost each other for a while, or block each other. That's how you'd think in your 20s before you mature up and know maybe how to handle things. But when in your 30s, your communication, you know how the importance of communication, whether you're telling something that is not palatable or something that is palatable, you are able to express yourself, and that is how the two people learn each other. And I like what the music therapist usually progresses in her thinking, the one that we'd engaged, that says that the negative experiences are also very good fodder for growth. And so if your communication is hampered, then that becomes an issue. And so in your 30s, you want to get someone who is mirroring your energy, so that you have someone you have better communication with, that you have more interactions with, that you can relate with more, and avoid all and sundry who at times who you're not compatible with, and based on your personality, of course.
And I think also that in your 20s you're more impressionable. So depending on who it is that you're dating, you tend to kind of like just gravitate towards their ways of living and everything. So you kind of like, you find yourself adopting more to the other person's ways of doing things. Versus in your 30s, you know what you want, you know what you do not want, and so when someone comes in, they're not telling you how to do things. No, you already know this is how things operate in this level. This is how I want my things. If you're going to come, we can compromise on 1, 2, 3, but please, usijaribu hapa come and turn my world upside down. And so there's the aspect of being naive, being impressionable, and where you now have your stand, and you can say no. In my life right now, I want someone who knows 1, 2, 3 about themselves, so that we don't have an issue. In the other time, in your 20s, someone tells you, you know what, it's okay, we can do a random night in Navasha. And you're like, by the way, in your 30s, you're like, we need to plan. First and foremost, are my finances in order? Was it in my budget for this month? What are we going to do? Are we driving there? Are we going with the matatu there? Are we, there's so much. It's no longer random as such. And so there's that aspect of being swept into other people's ways of doing things. Masavi, now you have a stand in how you do your things.
I see you.
Yes.
But of course, Annette, you can also look at it this way, that remember in your 20s, as we said, ignorance is bliss, and you guys, your level of earning is not as high, and so you make do with what is there. You find yourself getting more real also with this person, because you do not have too many requirements and too many pressures that are on you, so you're able to nurture a very rich foundation of a deep friendship. And I know the jury will be out there in terms of knowing, does dating in your 20s, does starting a long-term relationship when you're in your 20s, or starting a relationship when you're in your 30s, which one is more is better grounded? Is it from a place of that key knowledge, knowing too much and having too many experiences, being too practical, or is it in the 20s where you don't even know what you guys will become? You're barely starting from scratch and learning each other as you go. And so if that is the case, then you see there's also that key advantage of starting when you do not know too much, you do not have too much data that might be also blurring your decision making. That's something. That's something, But I'm also looking at
it's very hard to grow as a person when you constantly have someone else that is influencing you and you do not know. For me, I would say, this is what I would say. For me, in my 20s, I think if you're not taught at home how to be treated as a lady by a man, then you kind of learn the hard way. So if you meet someone and you commit to them earlier on and they don't treat you the right way, then you come to learn later that this is this is not how you treat a lady, and you already made a commitment to this person. Unfortunately, you met them at the time that you didn't know how to stand up for yourself, how to put your foot down. You don't even have an idea of a man should. Chivalry is not dead. So in one way or another, we're not saying dictate and be this Mr. Perfect, but there are things in life that you want someone to do for you, this person, your person to do for you, and they make you feel nice. And if this person never does that for you, then you learn it in your 30s when you already made a commitment to this person. And so there's the aspect of knowing enough at that time to know that this is how I should be treated. So when you're coming on board, just know, my friend, we're not accepting bare minimum. And so sometimes if you make the whatever earlier on, if you make the commitment very earlier on, then you've already set yourself to accept just anything that this person throws to you. And then now, if you try and raise it up after you've gone too far, then utaitwa kichwa ngumu. So there are those aspects. When you're in your 30s, you already know this is how it should happen. This is how someone should treat you. A man should not hit you. There are better ways of resolving issues. And finances, relation, how you talk, communication. You already know that through the experience of from your 20s to 30s. And so you're able to say, I see you coming, I see your interest, but there's a red flag there. So I feel that is, some of the things that is advantageous when you're in your 30s.
Wow. Okay.
So it's to say that there's less mistake. There's kind of, again, human beings are very good at masking. The intentions and the characters, especially when they really want something. But when you know how to tell the signs in your 30s, you're already mature enough to tell the signs. Then it's going to be very hard to be played in that sense. So for me, if you're in your 20s, don't get into something serious as at yet. Explore yourself. Learn your own strengths and weaknesses, your own flaws, the things that you should perfect. Gain a skill, explore things, having that freedom, emotional freedom that is not attached to anyone, that utaskia vibaya ukienda a whole night out and you've not called them. Just allow yourself that time. Then ukishaanza late 20s huko, heading to 30s, after you've already identified some aspects of yourself, then you would know, this is what I'm looking for and this is what I can handle when it comes to having a partner.
Makes a lot of sense. Hey, Miss Wisdom.
Hey, do you need to Dr. Love?
Because it makes a lot of sense actually when you put it that way. I don't know whether people have any business getting married before 30. Because at that time you barely know yourself and you're quite green in all this, and you have not experienced life. You have not known yourself as a person. This is what I like, this is what I dislike, this is who I am becoming. You have not seen yourself evolve from the childhood to the after now the adult, after now the what do you call this, the 19s, the teens, after you've now transitioned to that period. Now you need a good number of years so that you can know your adulthood, you can know who you are as a person. And so when you do that, then you're able to then pick a partner that now mirrors that new you that you're becoming.
Or that you can complement each other. And
so I think after, of course, we have to maintain the man being always older. I do not subscribe to this whole story for...
Mnaona amefungua another can of worms hapa.
The woman is older than the man. I totally do not think so.
Utaki vibes za anti wa Haria?
Kidogo utanisamehe. Yeah, because it's not tenable. It's not tenable. It starts at some point that until Harry a story, and in no time the guy is feeling choked. She didn't look later hapo, lakini now they can eat, they can drink, they're comfortable, but their freedom is not there, and now they feel like I'd rather die than resign. I don't want this thing anymore. And so you do not want these short fixes that eventually end up being your prison.
Exactly.
You want to know yourself, you want to experience yourself, you want to be someone that you guys can vibe in. Women, it's bad enough they mature faster than men, and now you keep yourself at yapo timko in the same at any older kuliko. So now she's 15 years ahead of you, and now wow, it's
anakuona kama kamtoto kake.
You know.
But see, I thought men want to be baby. Sio mimi nimesema, haki ya nani sio mimi nimesema.
Sio sana tena hivyo ni.
Sio sana tena hivyo.
Ile tu juju ya, umekula. Kababa, umekula. Can I make you water for your feet?
Can I cater to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I need your head?
Lovely. And I think we agree in one way or another that wait for yourself to wait to mature, wait to know yourself, discover yourself before you tag someone else along in that journey.
Yeah, makes sense.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Should you start a serious relationship in your 20s, or should you wait until your late 20s to 30s to start solidifying something? I mean, talk to us. Talk to us, guys. Write your comments down below, you know, and hit the subscribe button.
Where can they reach us on our socials?
Our socials are Life Codes. That's Life, LIFE. Codes, that is CODES 254. We are on YouTube. You can stream our previous episodes on YouTube, and we are on Facebook and Instagram. My personal handles are Annette White on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
And I'm Harry Writho, and that's HARRY, and Writho is WRITHO. And let's keep engaging in my YouTube, in my TikTok, in my Instagram, Facebook, and let's do this thing called live.
Let's do live together.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification button to find out our next episode when we are airing.
Yes.
And let's keep us company. We love to hear from you. We love your feedback, and let's see you
in the next episode. Yeah.
This is good.